We're about to go under Selena's Bridge, named after late singer Selena Quintanilla. She was photographed on this bridge, as well as Jennifer Lopez, played her in the movie Selena. Also partially filmed right up here. Heading around the River Center Mall Lagoon. Our mall has 125 stores. There's a food court, an IMAX theater, a comedy club. There's also a purple store. If you like purple stuff, that's all they sell. Apparently there is a demand for purple things that I'm unaware of. It's been very popular. Also just opened up a Dave & Buster's, a Margaritaville, a Legoland. They've opened an aquarium called Sea Life. Some new things going on at the mall. Also a new section of the river that we won't cover on the tour. It's an extra 1.2 miles. Been added in the last 11 years. It's called the Museum Reach. It opened May 30th of 2009. Now normally you can get there by boat. You can take one of our Rio shuttles. Unfortunately the Rio shuttles aren't running, but if they were, they'd pick you up, they'd take you through a lock, you'd raise 9 feet, and out to the Pearl Brewery, which is now the Hotel Emma. A lot of different shops and restaurants up there. Normally they do a farmer's market on the weekends. I think that's still on hold for a while. Also the San Antonio Museum of Art and the VFW Post 76, the oldest VFW post in Texas, is right there on the river and open to the public. So check out the Museum Reach if you get a chance. And just to the left here over the mall is the Marriott River Center. That was built in 1988 when the rest of the mall was built. The only reason I pointed out, before it was there was another hotel there. It was the Fairmont Hotel, built in 1905. Now in San Antonio, we don't like to tear down any of our old buildings. What they did with the Fairmont, they loaded it up on pneumatic tires, and they moved it 6 city blocks to where it is today on the corner of Alamo and Weba. And it moves into Guinness Book of World Records, being the largest building in that area. The record is recently been beaten in that record back in 1985. It took 6 days because for 5 years of planning and saving. Everybody wanted to go down the street at 0.04 miles an hour. It's a big exciting time in the city. It's a week before the Paint Drying Festival. But the Fairmont's still in existence today, and go check out the lobby of the hotel. We have all the newspaper clippings there documenting the event. So come around the bend here, take a look to the right, you'll see a large bronze statue. That statue is San Antonio de Padua, or St. Anthony. St. Anthony was a friar in the 12th century from Portugal. That statue was a gift from Portugal for the hemisphere of 1968. St. Anthony had a huge role when it came to the naming of this river. When the Spanish explorers first came upon the river, it happened to be June 13, 1691, which is the feast day of St. Anthony. So they called the river the San Antonio River. Now prior to that, the river was known as the Yanaguana, which is a Peña Indian dialect that means place of peaceful water. I'm sure everyone came out to see the lights tonight. Just so you know, it takes them 3 months to put those up. They leave them up through the holidays. It takes another 3 months to take them down. They just don't leave them up all year, I'm not sure.
Oh, come on, guys! The Conservation Society! We grab it out!
So right here through the trees up at street level, you'll see the top of a church steeple. That's St. Joseph's Catholic Church up there. It was built in 1868. And it was built by German settlers. Now back in the 1800s, which is a Peña Indian dialect that means place of peaceful waters. I'm sure everyone came out to see the lights tonight. Just so you know, it takes them 3 months to put those up. They leave them up through the holidays. It takes another 3 months to take them down. They just don't leave them up all year, I'm not sure. Like to have you like
Come on, guys! The Conservation Society!
Sure, what you see
We grab it out!
There's nothing wrong with it, brother. Now to the right here through the trees up at street level, you'll see the top of a church steeple. What they did is they called in a graduate from Texas A&M University, the name of H.E. Zachary. And how he did it is about 8 miles south of here. He constructed every room. I believe with the carpet on the floors, pictures on the walls, soaps in the dishes, towels on the racks, Bibles in the drawers, the beds were made. He loaded those rooms on flatbed trucks, drove them into town, hoisted them up by crane, and stacked them one on top of another. They completed the entire project in just 202 working days. And they took weekends off, so it was about 9 months' time. When they finished, it was just 3 days before hemisphere. Really close to home. So if you look up at each of those rooms up there to the left, you see that the walls, the floors, the ceilings They're all solid concrete. They say that it's soundproof, fireproof, waterproof, explosion-proof. We really tested that. That is a very sturdy building, I can assure you. Now the next section of the river we're about to get into, just after this bridge, is an area known as La Villita, or Little Village. Now this area was settled by the shop up there. Coming up on the left, you'll see the Little Rhine Steakhouse. Right next door to it, the Big Tree Restaurant. Both of those used to be German homes back in the 1850s. They were the homes of the Bastille from Bastille. Coming around the bend here, we'll be getting into the Arneson Theater. It's an open-air theater. It seats 800 people. It's named after Edwin P. Arneson. He was the chief engineer of the Works Project Administration that completed the Riverwalk back in 1941. If you head through the theater, take a look to the right of the stage. You might recognize it from this congeniality. We had Sandra Bullock up there dancing around in a bathing suit. Now we're going to head under Rosita's Bridge. Rosita Fernandez played on that stage for 26 years in the show Fiesta Noche del Rio, which is still in production today. They should have finished season number 64 last August. The whole season's been postponed. They'll be back this year. Normally they play every Friday and Saturday night during the summer. Over here to the right is the Briscoe Western Art Museum. That just recently opened. A lot of different artwork showing the history of the West, as well as an interactive diorama, the Battle of the Alamo. Pancho Villa's saddle and Santa Anna's sword are on display in there. And we're going to be heading under the Presa Street Bridge coming up. This is a solid iron bridge built in the 1890s. Called an iron ornamental bridge. There are 10 of these left in the United States. 5 are on the San Antonio River. Now, this one sits pretty low, so we're going to try and steer right to the middle of it. You might think you're going to hit your head on it, but trust me, if you don't stand up, you'll be fine. I, on the other hand, may not fare as well. Go right through the middle here. Today's table. That was a gift from artist Rolando Briceño in 1991. Put there to commemorate the first Catholic Mass that took place in San Antonio on June 13th, 1691. It's also a heart-shaped island. It's known as Marriage Island. We have over 300 weddings that take place there every year. We had 4 yesterday. On the other side of the bridge, we have Divorce Island. No, just kidding. It'll be a busier island. This part of the river is actually known as Old Mill Crossing. Back in the 1800s, Nat Lewis had his mill on the right bank. He would grind grain for the settlers. And this was also a very shallow part of the river. Settlers could cross the water their horses. Teddy Roosevelt, the Rough Riders, used to train right in this area. On the right, we have the Weston Hotel. That was built in 1999, really new addition to the Riverwalk. Surrounded by all these older buildings. Just past the Weston there on the right, there's a darker red brick building. That used to be the San Antonio Drug Company from 1919 to 1963. Now it's the Homewood Suites. It got remodeled in 95. 28, it used to be called the Smith-Young Tower. It'll go all the way up to the top of the tower. You'll see these concrete structures jutting out of each of the 8 corners. Those are known as gargoyles. They serve as a rain drainage system, so when it rains, the water comes out of the gargoyles' mouths into the gutters below. And if you look just above the trees over here to the left, it's kind of hard to see in the dark, but just above those trees are these angry little scary faces. Kind of snarling down at you. Those are known as grotesques. Now the whole building is an example of neo-Gothic architecture. The original owners, Smith and Young, were fairly superstitious. They put all these things in place to ward off evil spirits and bad business. Unfortunately, 1 year after the building opened, the stock market crashed. In 1929, it cost them over $3 million to build it. They had to sell it for less than $30,000. That doesn't seem much for gargoyles. Sure, you need a little effect, but when we come out from under this bridge, take a look back at the Tower Life building, you'll notice that it's transformed into a ship. Looks like it's coming out of the river right behind us. You use your imagination. There's a little Leonardo DiCaprio hanging up. Here on the right is the International Center. That was the San Antonio Main Public Library. From 1998, now it has the offices of the San Antonio Conventions Bureau. It's also right above one of our marinas where we dock some of our boats at night. Oh, yeah. And directly into a man-made part, we're entering into the flood channel. We left through floodgate 4. Now, when it rains really hard, floodgate 4 will rise up out of the water like a drawbridge. Keeps the water at the exact same level on the Horseshoe Bend at all times. There's never any flooding back there. The hotels, the mall, the restaurants, they're all completely safe from flooding. That doesn't rain very often in San Antonio, but when it does, it can rain really hard, really fast. Flooding used to be a huge problem for downtown. In 1921, we had a flood that caused a lot of deaths to a lot of property. City approved it in 1929. Still wasn't completed until 41 after the Works Project Administration took over, but Hugman is still known as the father of the Riverwalk. He designed every walkway and staircase, every planter, lamppost, and bench. Everything you see in the Horseshoe Bend, pretty much Hugman's design. Over here to the left, through the trees, kind of hard to see anything back there, but it's main plaza. Established in 1731 by Spanish settlers from the Canary Islands. They used to be the heart of the city. Also, San Fernando Cathedral back there, built in 1739. Still houses some of the remains of heroes from the Battle of the Alamo. Now, people always think that the San Antonio River is just a small river or it's man-made, it doesn't flow very fast, but it actually starts just about 4 miles north of here on the campus of Incarnate Word University. And it comes up through springs from an underground lake known as the Edwards Aquifer. Flows through the zoo, through downtown, goes about 230 miles southeast of here where it meets up with the Guadalupe River. Flows out to the Gulf of Mexico. You see that big tree right in front of us? The oldest and largest cypress tree in San Antonio. It's over 350 years old, over 9 stories tall. Also known as the sniper tree. Back in 1835, there was a Texas patriot by the name of Ben Milo. He was staying at the Fairmont Palace, which was right behind us. Coming up on the right, you'll see tourists in their natural habitat. One of our ticket locations here. This was at the Aztec Theater. Aztec over here to the right was opened in 1926. Used to show silent movies. They've just finished about a 3-year-long run with a country and western show known as San Antonio Rose Live. We have another live music venue on now.
Yeah.
Rumor has it in the next few months the House of Blues will be moving in. Should be something to look forward to. One of the last remaining Mayan theme theaters left in the United States. We're about to go under Selena's Bridge, named after late singer Selena Quintanilla. She was photographed on this bridge as well as Jennifer Lopez. Played her in the movie Selena. Also partially filmed right up here. The beige building over here on the right, that's the Mocara Hotel now, but it used to be the home of the L. Frank Settlery. From 1901 to 1923, they outfitted Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders, as well as Mexican revolutionary Francisco Pancho Villa. Right before World War I, they provided boots, saddles, and harnesses for the United States Army. Service to daycare and indoor parking. Carol Burnett was born in that hospital, as well as Oliver North and Michael Nesmith.
Hard Rock Cafe. To the right.
This part of the river here is known as South Bank. This is where you're going to find a lot of the nightlife of the Riverwalk. With the headers that read Paseo del Alamo. That's the passageway to the Alamo. So the quickest way to get there from the river level. Beautiful walk. The river goes through the building. Go through those doors, you walk through a series of waterfalls and gardens. When you get to the top, we'll put you right across the street to the front of the Alamo.
Starbucks
Interesting side note, we're trying to read the design. It has to be sit nice and quiet. Open allow to cast the shadow on the Alamo. Tantalizing aromas. Now, normally we offer a dining boat service where you can go to any one of these restaurants and set that up. Get a breakfast boat, lunch, dinner, if you just want cocktails, get a cocktail food.
If you're ever in the San Antonio, Texas area, be sure to come and check out the Riverwalk and take this little tour on this boat ride. It's going to be amazing. You won't regret it. And thank you for pressing like and subscribing to my channel.